right, what's up there, Fangs and Infernos? We are coming right back at you. Hope you've been having as much fun as we've been having right now at New Jersey HorrorCon. We're going to take a little trip to Halloween Town and maybe even get stuck in a little bit of summer detentions that we just might have to deal with if that's what the Vice President says we have to do. But we'll cover those topics when we get to them. Of course, I'm Vampire, he's Devil, but more importantly, Robin Thomas.
Hey guys.
Hey, thank you so much for a little bit of your time. It's an absolute pleasure.
My pleasure.
Absolutely. So it is New Jersey HorrorCon, of course.
Yes,
and
it is.
So there's always a little bit of spooks and creeps and spectacular. So let's
look around. Just look around.
Just looking around. So let's start off with Halloween Town. There was quite a lot of darkness, but power with the wands and a little bit of possession as well.
Oh well, you always have to have a little possession. Where is that thing?
There he is.
There we are. Don't mess with the talisman.
So, of course, first and foremost, this movie is very much loved by many. Especially, I found that a lot of the fans, like myself, that also grew up on Hocus Pocus as well, because it has a bit of that, similarities to it. Yeah. So, first and foremost, Robin, how do you look back at that movie, and what are some of your fondest memories of it?
Well, first of all, I'm amazed after 26 years. 26 years is really astounding. That it brings a lot of pleasure and joy to so many people and generations. I mean, parents or grandparents and parents, and then their kids, and it's just astounding. And one of the cool things is, I had to dress up, and they made a mask of me and a whole body cast from my arms, my hands, my chest, my head, and that was very, very cool. I never had the opportunity to have, play a character that was where I played in a mask, and you can really just play and go kind of nuts a little bit, And I had the best time with that. Debbie Reynolds, of course, was, she was an icon. She's, Princess Leia's mom, of course. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun to work with her. And Kimberly Brown, who's sitting right over there, played this little kid, So it was just a lot of fun. I just got to dress up in capes and robes and play a bad monster guy and a magician. I was the mayor of the town. I was the mayor of the town. Mm-hmm. So what's better than that? I got to transform myself from a fun kind of cool guy to
But also one of the cool things about, you doing an event like this and a con like this, where of course, you're representing yourself and your own filmography, but they also have a Halloween Town reunion. You've got your colleagues with you.
Yes,
so like you said, after 26 years, even that's got to be very cool as well.
That was very cool. And the first time that I have met my son over there, Daniel, and that was pretty cool. It's actually, I think in October, we're all going to be at another con in where is it? Oklahoma.
Oh,
Oklahoma, where there'll be the three of us will be there. The four of us will be there, along with Judith Hogue. We all know Judith, right?
Yep.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. This is actually my third con.
Oh, wow.
I just started doing this. Yeah, the first one was was the Washington State Horror Con near Seattle, and then I did one in Hollywood, and now this is my third one. So this is a whole area that's kind of new to me, and I kind of like it. It's an opportunity to meet the fans, which I really like. I really, really do like that because there's a lot of appreciation from their part and actually from my part, because without the fans, there's no reason to do what I do.
Yeah,
absolutely. And one other quick thing with Halloween Town before I kick it over to Devil to take it away for a moment is one of the things we were talking about, the prosthetics and acting with them on, and it's, obviously it varies from, actor to actress to actor to actress when it comes to what they like or dislike about wearing prosthetics, because of course it can be very taxing depending on the role that you're playing. But How was it for you when you were all made up? Like, was it easy for you? Were you comfortable, or were there times where it was kind of like, oh man, this is just so weird?
Well, it was really hot in Portland when we were in St. Helens when we were doing it, so that was a little challenging. But like I said, it was really fun to be in this mask and this. I mean, look at this costume. Can you see this costume? Look at that thing. I mean, that's pretty amazing, right?
Yeah.
With just fans and just blowing. Yes. Exactly, right?
Oh.
That's it. That's the guy.
That's a face a mother can love.
That's the guy. With fans blowing at me. Although the funniest thing that happened was one time I was in the theater. For all of those who saw Halloween Town, remember the time that Calabar, the monster guy, was in the movie theater and he froze everybody. Well, I was on this grate, this big, huge steel grate, and there were fans blowing my capes all over the place. And I had these yellow contacts that the producers had put in my eyes, because I had these yellow eyes. And all of a sudden, the contacts went, and they flew out, and they landed down in the bottom of the grate, down on the floor, the dusty floor, and they turned the fan off. And of course, the show must go on.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they found the contacts. Amazing. They found the contacts, but nobody had any cleaner.
Oh no.
So I just had to go stick them back in my eyes. And
Oh man.
we went on, and luckily, I survived.
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't get any kind of eye infection or anything like that, so it was okay. But I like doing that kind of work. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Let's get a little devilish.
Yeah, like you were saying,
Yeah.
with the fact that this is your third con doing that, you like
Yeah.
that. How do you think you like it when people come up to you? Because people don't realize that that you play a lot of bad guys. You play a lot of guys that aren't the nicest people in the world, and then you find out that like the people who are like the meanest on screens tend to be the nicest people that when you meet them in person.
Oh, that's very kind.
So
Thank
it's
you.
like how do you have to like approach people, when you're trying to go into it, you're approaching like, hey, I'm not really, this mean old guy. I'm not going to try to hurt you or kill you. I'm not really that mean of a guy.
I mean, hey, I'm just myself. I just be myself, and I think, I don't know. I don't think people are really afraid of me. I certainly hope not. But, no, I think, hey, I don't know. We did a little Q&A a couple hours ago, and I just have fun, man. I just have fun. I like to do this, and I enjoy, like I said, meeting the people, and I like to crack jokes, and just be who I am.
So what you're trying to tell everybody is you're not the asshole like you were in summer school.
Hey, I was a dickhead. Pardon my French, but that's who I was in summer school. I was a guy that everybody loved to hate, but I mean, you have to kind of love the character as an actor. Kind of like the character in order to bring some kind of humanity to it, so that people will watch and not say that guy's a friggin' jerk, and turn away from the film. You don't want people to do that, right? You want people to be engaged. So I don't know. I guess I just have a knack for being a jerk, I guess. I don't know.
But in your defense there, my friend, Mark was kind of encroaching on your territory
Yeah,
with Kirsty, wasn't he?
He certainly was. He certainly was. And he was the real jerk. I mean,
He was the
what
bad guy. Just because his girlfriend went on vacation without him.
Yeah, he really slipped a bad one on there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, how was it? With people being iconic. People love the Saw franchise. Shawnee Smith was in that, and she was in summer school being pregnant. So how was it working with like icons like her and working with like Kirsten Alley?
I hated every second of it. I just hated it. I mean, I had to kiss Kirstie Alley. Oh my God!
Man.
Oh my God!
You poor guy.
Oh man! And I was this young guy, and somebody's got to do it.
You had to deal with all those crazy antics of Chainsaw and all those guys pretending like they were dying, all the prosthetic makeup and scaring the
right up my alley, man.
Right up substitute teacher coming
right
in.
up my alley. Yeah, there's Phil Gills. There he is, and everybody's like tongues hanging out and the hands crawling on the desk, and and just the chainsaws, and just everybody's ready to just blood gushing and. Right up my alley.
I love that too. How was that doing that scene filming that scene in that part because it's such an iconic part of summer school when you walk in and everybody's like all bloodied and gory.
You
And,
know, no, but you don't know it's going to be an iconic scene. It's just a scene.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
scene.
I'm not ready for high school.
Oh man, when I got that part, I auditioned with Carl Reiner, who was the director, who's an icon. He's was just an amazing guy, amazing comic, and an amazing director, and a sweet man. And the audition was with Mark Harmon and me, and I had to actually sit on the couch in this little bungalow that was at Paramount, and Carl was there, and he said, "Well, Robin, I want you to read with Mark." And I didn't know that Harmon was going to be there, and so I read with Mark, and I was dressed up in the only suit that I had, which was a beautiful Armani suit. I had saved up, and I got an Armani suit. I wore my Armani suit, the only suit I had. Walked in, and I'm doing my thing, and Carl says, "Well, that was really great, Robin. That's you're the guy." And that never happens.
Yeah.
Never happens. And I said, what? And he said, yeah, fantastic. What? Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for showing up. And I walked out and I said, what just happened? I read with Mark Harmon. It was really easy. Carl Reiner was there. He's telling me that I have the part. This never happens. Was this a joke? I thought that maybe they were just screwing around with me, but not the case. I actually got the part, and 26 years later, it's become a classic, and people still recognize me from it, remember the movie, and I did a show with Mark's wife, Pam Dauber, called My Sister Sam. So I became friends with Mark and Pam, over the years, and it was, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
So it all worked out with Mark trying to steal your woman in the long run.
And it's also got to feel so great as well. Now doing the con circuit where you get fans like the young man before we started speaking, who is just so kind about how much summer school meant to him growing up.
Amazing, and it's just touching to me. It's really it's humbling for me, and I'm I don't know that I really truthfully have the words to describe the feelings that I get when I meet people and they're so genuinely fans of what I did, the movies that I did. It's really something. It's really something.
Absolutely, for sure.
It's pretty amazing.
And one other thing that I think is super cool is you did Who's the Boss?
Yes.
Just more iconic, as more iconic, and this from the TV as opposed to like film.
Yeah.
And what do you remember about being on set for something like Who's the Boss?
So Who's the Boss was one of the first things I did when I came out to California. It was an early, so was summer school, but interesting enough, I went to acting school with Judith Light. Went to Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, and so I knew Judith, and I guess I think I had one audition before I went to what's called the producers session, which is where all the producers are there. It's a room full of maybe 15 people, and at this audition, the last audition was Judith and also Tony Danza. I didn't know that they were going to be there. And again, I go to this audition in my only suit, my Armani suit, and there were about 6 guys in the waiting room, and they were all sort of tall and sort of California blonde kind of guys, and they were dressed in like almost the same, in blue blazers and kind of khaki pants, and here I am, me, in Armani. And I'm going, okay, this is great. I love it. So they go in, and I go in, and I do my scene with Judith. And first of all, it's a little intimidating. There are like 15 people sitting there looking at you, and show us. So I did it with Judith, and it was good. I felt good about it. And then Tony gets up, and Tony takes the center of the room, and it's my audition, right? So, but he takes the center stage, right? So he takes the center, and I go up to him and I go, so what do you think, man? I open up this thing that has a diamond ring that I'm supposed to give to Judith, and I have my hand over the shoulder like this. What do you think? And I could hear the room go, oh, he touched Tony. Oh my God, he touched Tony. He touched Tony. And I'm going like this, and I pat him on the back. And Danza loved it. Danza loved it. And so I got the part.
I think there's some luck in that Armani suit.
I think so, yeah.
Was this guy in the inner pocket maybe?
Yeah,
Or?
it must have been. It must have been, yeah. Yes, the talisman is always there. Yes.
Always there.
Always there.
So, Robin, can you tell us anything about what you've got going on currently in 2025 that you're allowed to announce?
Well, I can tell you that I'm working on a play in LA, and I don't like to really talk a lot about stuff when I'm doing it because it kind of takes the energy out of it, but it's a really sort of strange, interesting play where I have to go into some pretty dark places. It's a drama with some comedic stuff in it, but mostly a drama. So I'm looking forward to getting to work on that. We just started. So this weekend is sort of a break for me, and then I go back. And movies, I mean, there's stuff, but nothing in the can yet, and nothing on paper yet. But I'm auditioning, so there it is.
Right on, absolutely. Devil, anything final from yourself there, my friend?
No, I was just gonna say, awesome talking to you and
Thanks,
stuff like
Devil.
that.
Thank you.
Stuff like that. With it, do you, with the, going into the acting and stuff like that, was there always, when you were younger, were there any horror movies or actors that kind of inspired you to want to become an actor?
Wow, that's a great question. When I was a kid, I was a science nerd, and I didn't really I got into acting in my 11th and 12th year in high school, and then I went to college. I didn't really have any sort of role models other than Marlon Brando, and I mean I admired Brando, I admired Dustin Hoffman and all those guys, Pacino and De Niro and all the New York
wise guys,
the New York wise guys, and great actors, and I mean those guys were they were really terrific, and I also liked Cary Grant, and who was really fantastic with light comedy, and just he was some of the old guys like Paul Muni. It's going way back, but I never thought that I'd be an actor. I always thought that I'd go into science, but I sort of fell into acting, went to school to be an actor, changed my junior year in college from acting to art, acting to psychology and then art, and I graduated with a degree in sculpture, went to New York to sculpt. I used to make these machines, kinetic machines, pumps and motors in the air and oil and bubbling, big things, small things. Had them in Tiffany's windows, had them in, sold them, and was in the Huntsman Museum of Art for art and technology thing. And I did that for years, had a construction company eventually, and renovated one of John Lennon's apartments in the Dakota. And then I had sort of something happen to my eye, and I couldn't really do stuff. And I sort of fell back into acting, or made a decision to try to do commercials. And then I took some classes, and then I got a soap opera, and then I got another soap opera, and then I got married and had a kid, and then the rest went to LA, and the rest is history.
That's awesome. Well, Robin, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Thanks in Infernos. We love you guys. We really appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out. We'll be back with you in a little bit. I'm Vampire. He is the Devil, but more importantly, he is the Talisman. This is Robin Thomas. Horns up, fangs out.